Welcome to FCPS All-Stars. Our guest today is Sarah Gunter, counselor at West Frederick Middle School. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me.
I'm glad you're here with me today, and I got a couple questions for you. Now, I've had guests on this show that like to bike and swim and travel. I've also had guests who like to cook and dance and things like that. But you have something special that you like, and I mean, you really like it. So what is that something that holds a special place in your heart and in your cup?
Well, a lot of people that know me know that I do love coffee.
Is it the taste? Is it the brand? What is it?
I do like strong coffee, so I think that's why I like Starbucks. But coffee, I think, goes back to when I was a little girl, and all of my grandparents drank coffee, and I can still kind of remember the smell going into their house. And my grandmother would give me just a little bit that was left in her cup, like put extra half and half in and sugar and all that kind of stuff. So I guess it just reminds me of those times and my grandparents and that kind of thing.
Okay. So are you like chocolate mocha latte with a shot of hazelnut and extra foam type of girl, or?
No, nothing like that. I'm just straight latte, skim milk, every once in a while, like pumpkin spice in the fall, but just a regular skim latte.
But your love of Starbucks extends beyond the cup. Why don't you share with us about a trip you've taken?
My family went to Seattle a few years ago, which is the home of Pike's Place, which is the original Starbucks.
Okay.
So we got to go to the original store and the roastery that they have out there. We spent most of our day just Starbucks kind of stuff, and my daughters, thank goodness, had iPods because they were a little bit bored while I was very excited to be there and see everything.
Now, how many people acknowledge this love that you have of coffee?
It's pretty obvious. I do have in my office a couple things. My favorite thing is a tile that I have in my ceiling, and they painted it to look like the Starbucks symbol, but it says my name instead of Starbucks around the mermaid.
It's in your ceiling?
It is, yep. And it was from the other counseling job that I had, so I brought it with me to the current job, the current school I'm at, and it fit in the ceiling perfectly there too.
Okay. Now the love of Starbucks also extends into your family as well. You have a third child with a special name?
We have a dog. We got a dog a year ago and named him Pike for Pike's Place, which is the original Starbucks store.
Okay, now you didn't name your girls like chai and latte or anything like that, did you?
No, my husband had specific requests for them. They all have the same initials. They're all RLG, and I couldn't really think of Starbucks or coffee names that would come up with the RLG initials. So
I think that was probably intentional.
Yeah. I think it's better too.
Yeah. Well, tell me about your family.
My husband is Reggie Gunter. He's an assistant principal at Monocacy Middle School.
Oh, yeah.
We met when we both taught at TJ Middle.
Okay.
And got married, and I have twin daughters that are in the 7th grade.
Okay, what are your daughters' names?
My daughters are Rylan and Rachel.
What do you and your family like to do for fun?
We like to travel. We go to Cape Cod in the summer with my parents and my sister's family. And then 2 years ago, my parents took my sister's family and my family on an Alaskan cruise to celebrate their 40th anniversary. So that was definitely the most exciting place I've been to. Very pretty, very cold, even in July, which is when we went.
Okay.
Yep.
So that would actually technically be the coolest place you've been.
Yes, literally and figuratively, yeah.
And what exactly made it so special? I mean, I know you told me that it's beautiful and that, but what made it so special for you?
It was having my family there. We were all together on the boat for a week, but a cruise is just so much more relaxing than vacation sometimes. So I was very fortunate to be able to go on one. There's so much to do. You don't have different places to get to. There were excursions that we could go on so that we could see different things. We saw the glacier. Took a very cool picture of my daughters in front of the glacier, which ended up being our Christmas card that year.
What color was the glacier?
Very, very blue and green, which was not what I expected. The boat got really close to it, and you could almost feel the cold coming off of the glacier.
Okay. I understand that you received a special award recently.
I was the 2016 Middle School Counselor of the Year.
Oh wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
And how does that nomination process work? I don't usually hear about that.
My principal and my assistant principal nominated me for Middle School Counselor of the Year, and then one is chosen from the other nominees. There's a conference that we have, that the counselors have in May, and the middle school, elementary, and high school counselor of the year are all recognized there.
Now, what made you decide to want to become a counselor?
In middle school and high school, even when I started college, I didn't know what I wanted to be. So it wasn't that I always set out to be a counselor or even to be in education. My dad was the assistant superintendent of the district I grew up in Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
And my mom was an elementary teacher.
Oh,
so
okay.
I was dedicated to not going into education, just to be different at that age in middle school and high school. And I went to college for business, and then I realized how much math is involved in getting a business degree and decided I needed to change
It's
from
funny
that.
how that math sneaks into most careers.
A lot, yes. And I really enjoy English and literature, so I was an English teacher before I became a counselor.
Okay.
And then went to graduate school and ended up here. I had a lot of counselors growing up that kind of led me in the right direction, even though I was kind of all over the place as far as what I was going to be when I grew up.
And so now you get to help students in that same situation find their way.
I do, yeah.
Now, what advice would you give to middle school students?
I would say don't worry about what you're going to be when you grow up. It will come to you, you will figure it out, focus on your interests, what you enjoy doing, because someone famous once said, if you love what you're doing, you don't have to work a day in your life. So
True.
Figure out an interest, and a career will come from that.
True, exactly. And sometimes it doesn't come right away.
True.
Yeah. Well, Sarah, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for tuning in as well. Hold tight. Our next episode's coming up next week. But in the meantime, shine on.